Imagine you hear on the local news about someone who wins big in the lottery, drastically changing their life. The report emphasizes how this individual was an average person with no exceptional wealth, education, or expertise, living in a small town. One day, they decide to buy a ticket and their luck suddenly turns around. Many of us would likely rush to buy a lottery ticket that very same day, believing our chances of winning have increased. When in reality, nothing has changed. Probability dictates that each person's chance of winning in these games of luck is incredibly low, sometimes 1 in a million or even less. The fact that someone else won the lottery a week ago doesn't increase or decrease your odds, but it does affect your perception of your own chances. In this video, I'll discuss availability heuristic, also known as availability bias. Throughout the video, you will learn what this cognitive bias is and how it can impact our decision-making in various aspects of life. Additionally, we will explore methods to mitigate its negative effect through awareness and practice, ultimately leading to better, more informed decisions. The availability heuristic or availability bias is a mental shortcut our brains use when making decisions or judgments. It's based on how easily information or examples come to mind. Essentially, the more readily available a piece of information is, the more likely we are to assume it's true or relevant, even if it's not representative of the full picture. In other words, when faced with a decision, we often rely on the most recent or memorable information to make a judgment, instead of considering all the available evidence or information. This tendency can lead us to overestimate the importance or likelihood of certain events and consequently make biased decisions. Without the brain's ability to access information quickly, we would spend countless hours considering all options and making decisions in various aspects of our lives. This type of thinking is often accurate and practical. However, the issue arises when we equate easily available information with the correct option, which isn't always true. When facing problems, we usually have limited time or information to thoroughly analyze them. Consequently, relying solely on the availability heuristic may lead to overlooking crucial data and making suboptimal decisions. This is why, for instance, after hearing news about recent shark attacks in the ocean, or watching a film or documentary on the topic, you might be less inclined to go swimming in the ocean. In reality, the likelihood of encountering a shark hasn't changed, but when you think about swimming in the ocean, the image of sharks comes to mind due to the recent information you were exposed to. This is the same effect that occurs when we consider car accidents, plane crashes, and other catastrophic events as more likely to happen. We aren't exposed to precise information and tend to rely on recent events and vivid memories about these topics. When it comes to making decisions about trivial everyday matters, availability heuristic isn't particularly harmful. Instead, it can help us make quicker decisions and conserve time and energy. However, the key point is that for important decisions where we want to make the best possible choice, we must be mindful of this cognitive bias. In these cases, relying solely on the availability heuristic might lead us to make suboptimal decisions due to overlooking critical information or focusing on irrelevant details. Therefore, being aware of this bias can help us ensure that we're making well-informed decisions in all aspects of our lives. One area where falling prey to the availability heuristic can be detrimental and potentially cost us a great deal is our belief system and perspectives on significant life matters. For example, if your belief about marriage or any form of romantic relationship is unconsciously influenced by the availability heuristic, it might lead to poor decision-making and inflict substantial emotional and financial cost upon you. If, due to a recent failed relationship, you have subconsciously developed a negative outlook on relationships, you may be unable to perceive great relationship opportunities that come to your way with an open mind. Conversely, just because friends around you have recently started relationships and appear happier than before, don't pressure yourself to get into a relationship as quickly as possible at any cost without considering whether you are truly ready for a relationship or how compatible the person you're rushing to be with is for you. The availability heuristic can also have a significant impact on our financial decision-making. Suppose you've recently had numerous stories about people becoming wealthy through high-risk investments in the stock market. These anecdotes might create an unrealistic optimism within you, leading you to invest heavily in stocks without adequately assessing your own risk tolerance or the potential downside. In other words, the availability heuristic could cause you to overestimate the likelihood of success and underestimate the risks involved, potentially leading to significant financial losses. On the other hand, if you've recently encountered the stories of people experiencing financial ruin due to poor investment choices, you might be overly cautious, avoiding even sensible investments that could potentially yield good returns in the long run. In both scenarios, the availability heuristic could skew your perspective and cause you to make suboptimal financial decisions. The availability heuristic can also impact our decisions regarding education and career path. Suppose you're considering different majors for your college degree. If you've recently heard several success stories about people who studied computer science and landed high-paying jobs at prestigious tech companies, this might lead you to overestimate the chances of achieving similar success and underestimate the competitiveness and challenges of the field. Consequently, you might choose to pursue computer science without considering your personal interest or aptitudes, or exploring other fields that might be a better fit for you. On the flip side, if you've recently encountered people who are struggling to find jobs in their field of study, you might become overly cautious and choose a major or career path solely based on current job market trends, disregarding your passion or long-term goals. In both scenarios, the availability heuristic can lead to decisions that may not necessarily align with your strengths, interests, or potential for growth and fulfillment in your career. I believe it's beneficial to consistently practice recognizing the extent to which our beliefs and perceptions about important decisions are influenced by cognitive biases like the availability heuristic. If you give it some thought, you'll undoubtedly find numerous examples in your own life or the lives of others. The more aware we become of these biases, the more effectively we can mitigate their negative impacts on our lives. By improving the quality of our decision-making, we increase our chances of achieving favorable outcomes. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing for more content. Until next time, take care and keep learning.